morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you've reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy and a little bit of life thrown in. So today is Sunday. It is March 17th. I didn't write that on my notes. I don't know why I have to write it now, but sometimes I like to go back and look. Which means it's St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. I hope that St. Patrick's Day brings you all a wonderful, lucky week next week. It also happens to be the day before my non-anniversary, meaning that I got married on March 18th in 2012, which shouldn't bother me and really doesn't bother me. It's just like one of those things that's in the back of my brain, right? So I'll be doing things and I'll kind of stop and think, oh yeah, what were you doing 12 years ago? Being all excited and everything. So, you know, being divorced is a club that I never wanted to be part of, but you know, life is what it is. So I always give Southern California weather report. It's, you know, nothing too exciting happening. It's kind of staying low to mid 70s for the next week. And then next weekend we may have a little bit more rain. And then it looks like the temperatures are coming down back into the 60s. Of course that can change because all I'm doing is looking at a weather report on my phone, and, you know, it changes daily because weather reporting people don't really know what's gonna happen, I think. But anyway, welcome if I didn't say that already, and if this is your first time finding my channel, I hope that you like what you see. Want to hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If this is not your first time finding my channel, if you are a regular viewer who's come back again, thank you so much for that. And you know, I enjoy spending this time with you. If you love what you see, you think I have a lot to offer, there is a super thanks button below, and there also, you could also give a monetary tip through PayPal. PayPal, I actually get it all. The super thanks button, YouTube takes a good like 30% of it, so totally up to you. Totally not a required or expected thing, but you know, every so often somebody does give me a little monetary tip, and it is really, really appreciated, and very exciting when that happens, so thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Zoom reminder, Saturday the 30th, which is not next Saturday, but the Saturday after, we will be having another Zoom, Stitchy Zoom, just casual get together, stitching, talking, you know, hanging out, and it will be on Saturday the 30th at 3 p.m. So if you would like to join, please do. All the information is in the description box below, and I would love to see you there. As many people as can join. It's always great fun. So this past week, I don't really have a lot to tell you guys as far as, you know, like life update stuff. Nothing really exciting is happening. It's been a low-key week. My boss and my coworker, who are brother and sister, in case I haven't mentioned that, I'm sure I have, but we're out of town for the first 2 days. Well, actually, they came back at midnight Tuesday night, so my boss came in Wednesday, but my coworker did not. And I'm kind of glad that they weren't there. I wasn't feeling great. My body's adjusting to the new medication that I'm taking. So, you know, which is not, it's not terrible. I just kind of wasn't feeling good. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to continue to take this medication because of cost, but, you know, I'm giving it a shot for at least the next 6 weeks. So anyway, I was kind of glad that they weren't there because I just really didn't, I mean, I got done what I had to get done, of course, and I was there for clients that needed me, but, you know, I didn't have a lot of energy because I was dealing with, like, stomach issues and just not feeling very great. Yeah, and then, like, yesterday, I was supposed to have a D&D game with my brother, but unfortunately, well, Reagan had a competition this weekend in Battle Creek, Michigan, I think. Battle Creek. Yeah, Kellogg's, right? That's where the cereal was originally made. Anyway, that's where they were. And of course, normally Stacy takes her to the competitions. It's all very exciting, but Stacy was not feeling well this past weekend. And so she was not able to go. So my brother had to take Reagan, you know, which is, you know, kind of exciting for him. Very sad for Stacy. The girls apparently did fantastic. I haven't looked and seen exactly what the stats are, but I know that she's on 2 teams. But I know that they got first place, they're champions, they have a paid bid to Florida, you know, all the exciting things are happening as far as Reagan's cheer. And I know Stacy and Reagan was really sad that Stacy couldn't go this weekend, but you know, her health is more important. So I talked to her a little bit yesterday, or I texted with her, and she wasn't really feeling very good at all. So hopefully her boys took care of her, and you know, hopefully she's feeling better soon. Anyway, so I don't have a lot of like preamble stuff to tell you, which I know some of you are like, yay, and some of you maybe you like when I ramble on about my life and my cat and stuff like that. Nothing new and baggy news. He was a little needy yesterday. I was stitching and he was getting annoyed with me. I've noticed he doesn't really care so much about my stitching except when it's like in the place of where he wants to be on me. But he's very interested when I crochet. He is interested in the yarn, so I do have to kind of keep an eye on him when I'm doing that. So speaking of crochet, I actually had a big finish yesterday. I'm really excited to, and it's a garment, and I'm not wearing it because St. Patrick's Day, so I wanted to wear my St. Patrick's Day t-shirt, and actually I have 2. I'm not Irish, I just like the shirts. So I have this one, which has got the green shamrocks and 4-leaf clovers on it, but I also had a bright green shirt, which was the one I was intending to wear. But when I opened my drawer, this one was easier to pull out, so this is what I ended up wearing. And I can't wear this with the green because it's like clashy. But I did finish my everyday cocoon cardigan, which is this lovely thing. And so I did basically folding in this and making the sleeves of it. I kind of tried it on yesterday. Now I was looking schlumpy when I tried it on, and it did not help with the schlump factor. So I don't know if this is going to actually be a garment to wear out in the world, or if it's just going to be in around the house. Of course, I got it finished when it's not as necessary a thing. Like the last couple, like last month in the evening, when I would, you know, get ready to relax and take off my work clothes, put on my nighttime clothes. I don't like sleeping with sleeves. So everything that I wear at night for sleeping is like a spaghetti strappy or tank top kind of thing, which is fine for the sleeping. But when I'm sitting and stitching or, you know, watching TV, whatever in the evening, I get chilly. So I've been wearing sweaters, and the whole time I'm thinking, you know, when I have this shrug, it's going to be great. And now that it's finished, I don't know if I'm going to need it until next year. But anyway, so it is done. I am happy with it. I may have made it just the tiniest bit like too big. I added some length to it because I'm very concerned about being a bigger person and that it's not going to fit and, you know, whatever. So I will wear it next week. I'll wear something very neutral like black or black t-shirt or something and wear it so you guys can tell me what you think. But I was excited. Ooh, crocheted hair into it. I was excited to get it done. It's hard to show. It's kind of like a cross between a shawl and a sweater and a shrug, and you know, it's basically you just make a big rectangle and then sew sleeves into it. But I was very excited to get that finished, and I used 4 balls of yarn for the body of it, and then started a 5th ball just to do the sewing and everything. So this was made with Bernat Pop in the color Scarlet Sizzle, and I really liked using this yarn. It is, you can tell I have no idea how to talk about like yarn or crochet or anything like that. It is a medium weight number 4 yarn, and it is machine washable and dryable, no iron. So yep, and it's a nice squishy yarn. It was very, very easy to work with. So I would recommend it, you know, if you want to make something with an easy yarn and you like the colors. I looked at the other like color combos, which none of them really thrilled me. This one was, when I bought it, it was on sale at Joann's at the end of the year. It was like a really low price, and the colors just I thought were gorgeous. Not necessarily my colors for wearing, like I don't usually wear oranges and stuff, but I mean, I like the pinks definitely. But you know what? I thought it was pretty. I liked making this shrug. I liked the pattern. Very, very easy. It was basically just a double crochet all the way across. It's just you had to know where to put your needle to make the little like V's. And yeah, it was easy, and it was relaxing, and I like the yarn. I'm happy with the results. As I said, I don't know if it's going to be a wear outside of the house because it's so attractive thing, or if it's just going to wear around the house because it's squishy and comfortable kind of thing. But either way, I'm happy. Okay, so that was my big crochet finish. So yay, I got a crochet thing that I started, a fairly larger thing, finished. So I have accomplished something. That's great. Of course, I have a big project in mind going forward, which I'll talk to you about in plans, but you know, it is what it is. What am I doing here? Okay. I also have another stitching finish, so I'm on a roll, baby. Okay, so this is like kind of little, so it's not like I can be that blowing that loud of a trumpet, but you know what, a finish is a finish. And this was one of my 2 projects that I started in February for Be My Own Valentine, the style that I do every year for myself, and you know, invite anybody who wants to join in. And I've talked about what this means and why I do it. I talk about it every January, so anyway, you can go back and check or wait until next year. But I finished the Beehive house, which is a little Mill Hill ornament. As you can see, I haven't like fully finished it yet, but I probably will this week, and then I will show it to you, and then it will be hanging on my tree. But very cute. I finished the stitching, I think, last Sunday, and then I did the beading. Was it? No, not yesterday. I think I did it Friday or Thursday. I just, you know, did all the beading. There's quite a bit of beading in this for being such a small thing. There's actually 4 different bead colors, and yeah. So I think this is totally cute, and it was fun to do. I talked about beading quite a bit in my video last week, and some of you guys were enjoyed what I talked about and were asking, like, you know, any advice, whatever, for a novice beader. Basically, my advice, if you've never beaded before and are interested, is just do it. I mean, it's not that difficult. It's the same motions, it's the same things when you're doing stitching. These little Mill Hill kits are a great way to like get into it, to see if you like it, because it's not very much commitment and it's not very expensive. I mean, one of these kits is, I think, like $8 or $9, and so, and it has everything in it, so you can see if you even like beading. And I think my biggest like piece of advice is about the needles. Beading needles are just such a pain, but I have found that a size 28 needle will work for most beads, and they're so much easier to thread than a beading needle. Now, beading needles tend to be kind of long and flexible, and which is supposed to help I don't find that the advantage of the long flexible needle outweighs the frustration of trying to thread it, so I would rather use a size 28. Okay, so that was my finish, and then I had 4 other whips this week. So I feel like I'm talking really fast today. Okay, so I worked on Zinnia by Nora Corbett, and I am doing her on a backgrounds fabric without the arch because the backgrounds fabric is taking the place of that arch. And as I say every time, I added the owl from a different Bewitching Pixies, that when I do that one on the backgrounds fabric, there isn't going to be room for the tree and the owl, so I put the owl on this one. But anyway. Oops. So I worked in the swoop of her dress quite a bit. And these Bewitching Pixies, and I guess all of the Mirabillias, but I find, you know, I've worked on the Bewitching Pixies, so it becomes more apparent to me on those. It's like, it's so weird because you're just stitching these blocks of color that don't seem to like look like anything, and then you get it done and you step back and it's like, oh, it's the folds of fabric. But I think this is going to look really cute on this gate fabric when it's done, with her kind of welcoming you into her little haunted mansion with her cocktail. Excuse me. Okay, I worked on the Wind Moon Fairy, which is a gold collection, Dimensions gold collection. And I was boring again. I worked background. Sometimes when I don't feel like thinking as much, then I work background and try and get, you know, that done. So I worked up here. I got to the top. Well, actually, I don't know. I think I was at the top, but I filled in, you know, up this side of the moon a lot. And now Dimensions fabric is very stiff when you take it out, but you can see after working on it for a long time, it's not. This is not stiff anymore at all. The big problem I feel like with Dimensions kits as far as the fabric is they really don't give you a lot of border room. And while this isn't a problem as far as like, you know, framing or whatever, I mean, that's enough of a border for framing. But the problem for me is that I stitch in a hoop, and when you get, when it's not that much border, it gets harder to put the fabric in your hoop because, you know, square and circle. So sometimes you have to either use a smaller hoop for, you know, the areas that are towards the edge, or, you know, you just have to kind of make do, fudge around with it. I guess it would also be a problem if you, are a Q-snap stitcher, because the Q-snaps actually require more fabric on the edge than a hoop does. The hoop issue is more that it's round, and when you get to the edge and the corner part and there isn't a lot of fabric there, it's hard to have the fabric in the hoop and not hitting the hoop for the stitching, if that makes sense. I do want to try the Nurge hoops that are a little bit more square. I had some square ones that were small. I don't know if they were Nurge, and they work really. They work good. I have one. Actually, this I think is in one of the squares. But yeah, but they're not Nurge ones. So eventually maybe I will get some of those nerd hoops to try, but you know, I don't need more hoops, and I'm trying not to spend unnecessary money. Okay, I worked on my Phoenix Queen this week. This is my, I call it my Mirabillia piece, which is, Mirabillia is a prayer for healing. I started this in honor of Julie, Stitchy and the Cabin's mom, who's going through some breast cancer treatment. And Julie had asked everybody just to, you know, stitch in honor of her mom. I think she called it a hugs and kisses sale. I'm not 100% sure. But I knew, like, obviously this is, you know, a very large piece, and it's not going to be finished anytime soon. But that didn't really bother me because I still felt like it was a nice piece to start for her mom, in honor of her mom, I should say. But in general, I wanted to have a Mirabillia piece because there's times when, you know, I need to think about that. I need to think about healing for friends, for family, for myself. And that's basically what the Mirabillia prayer is. And so I like having a piece that is in honor of healing the world, healing people, healing my friends. And the idea of a phoenix rising from the ashes, I thought was a perfect representation of that. Now, I realized yesterday, I started this as a center start. There's 9 pages to this pattern. So that would mean that I started on page 5. Page 7, no, I'm sorry, page 8. So the page below page 5 is almost full coverage. I realized that yesterday when I was like working on it. I'm not going to show you the pattern, but these pattern pages are 180 by 130. And actually, you know what? I will. I'm going to flash you the pattern. Yeah, good luck trying to copy this. No. I lied. This goes from 180 to 260. So that is what? 80. Okay. I guess it's less dramatic than I thought when I first looked at it. So that's 80 by 80. Yeah, okay. Anyway, 80 by 80. This is just page 8 out of 9. But you see, it's like almost full. So, and I barely went into that one because I guess I'm close to being done with page 5. But yeah. Now the one thing about this chart, it has got a lot of beading. So I don't know if you can see, but sort of like this lattice work stuff on both sides of her cape. That is all beads, like 100% beads. So and I considered like starting the beading yesterday, but then I thought, no, I need to get a little bit further because of the issue of when you have beads on the project already and you're still stitching on it, you do have to be careful where your hoops go and stuff like that. But anyway, this is actually from this color to this color is the full width of the stitching, but then you have like a whole section on each side of like completely beaded work. Anyway, so I did work on this yesterday. This is on a piece of fabric from Dying for Cross Stitch, which I just love this. And I know I've said this before, when I watched this back on my TV, this has like a really not attractive in my mind yellowy green cast. It doesn't show like the richness of the color. In real life, It's a really rich, and I mean, I know this is not considered necessarily attractive color, but I think it's pretty. It's a really rich, like, green pea soup color. It's not like this bright, it doesn't have that sick yellow cast to it, but anyway, I worked like a lot in this whole area. And then last but not least, I worked on my Autumn Equinox Pixie, which I showed you last week because I had done a lot. Well, I've done all this stuff up here. So this week, I didn't have this final like green ribbon-y thing, and I figured, you know, since I had everything else done from there up, that I should do that final green ribbon-y thing. So I did that, and then a little bit in here. So that's basically what I did. Oh, yeah, move my little cactus guy. Oh no. All right. Okay. Yeah, so I did this. These projects are big and they're hard to wrangle. Okay. I did this ribbony bit and then pulled down this petal-y part of her dress. And she's so pretty. Now with the dress, I'm getting into the colors that I really like, because I mean the reds and the yellows and stuff, I mean they're gorgeous, but they're not necessarily my favorite colors to work with per se, the oranges and the yellows. But now I'm getting into like the reds and the purples and the pinks, and so that'll be cool. So trying to, I don't know, I think I'm halfway done. I mean, I don't do anything where I count stitches or do it on anything that's counted, but I think I'm pretty much like halfway done, because I'm done with that. So it's now just this area down here. I mean, that's pretty solid stitching, but still. So I went through my list of the projects I have on my little wheel for March, which, you know, fancy folk. And the only two that I haven't worked on is my dragon, Let Sleeping Dragons Lie, and Pinky and Blue Boy, which are both the full coverages. And I just haven't felt like stitching full coverage. I stitched a lot of full coverage in January, so I don't know if that's why. So now I have to like debate in my head if I want to stitch on those, because I want to make sure that it gets at least one day. But they have gotten stitched on in January, so it's not like if I don't stitch on them this month that, you know, they've been completely neglected. So that's my dilemma right now. Everything else on the list has gotten a couple days of stitching, which is good. I mean, I have made these like theme wheels kind of to ensure that everything moves forward, and I think that it's been successful, so I'm enjoying that. Okay, so that is it as far as all of my stitching and stuff. I do have 2 things to show you that I got in the mail. This was very exciting. So I did participate in Laura Stitching at the Shores ATC swap, the winter one. It was fun. Might do it again. I don't know. I'll see, and I guess it depends on where I am when it gets announced and everything. So I showed you guys on my channel, I had made 2 pieces. I did them using black work, and when I sent them to Laura, I basically said one was for the swap and one was for her, because and I told her as far as swapping with me, if she wanted to, she could. She didn't have to, but I did want, you know, one of them to be for her, because I enjoy watching her channel and everything, and but she did go ahead and swap with me. I still don't know which one she picked, because I had made one that was kind of like tea themed and one that was kind of book themed, and those are both things that I know that she enjoys. So I was like curious to find out which one she picked, and she didn't tell me, so I don't know. But I did get 2 back, one from her and one from another stitcher. This was stitched by Kim. It doesn't have a last name, so I don't know. If you happen to watch me, Kim, then let me know that this is you. This is a pattern by Marlene Pastime Pieces, and it's this cute little skating couple, or well, I guess it's a skating trio, because the little kid in the middle is also skating. So that is really cute. These were winter themed, or that's what the theme of the swap was. I think I want to attach a cord or something to it. I mean, I know artist trading cards are like trading cards, so they're meant to be like put in a card trading book or whatever, but I don't have something like that, and I feel like I'd rather have them out, so I'm gonna find a way to attach some kind of cord to the back, and so I can hang them. So that's the first one. And then the second one is the one that I got from Laura, and she actually had messaged me and was like, you know, I know the theme is supposed to be winter, but I have something in mind for you, and it's not super winter themed. Is that okay? And I was like, you know, I live in Southern California. What is winter to us? Nothing. So anyway, she called this one Baggy and the Bees. And isn't that cute? So she found this cute little cat with the heart balloon for February, and then added the little bee brads because of my Be My Own Valentine stitch along in February. And I opened that. I was like, oh, it's so cute, and it's so, you know, me. So anyway, that one was from Laura, and I love it. And again, I want to attach a cord or something to the back, a little hanger, so that I can hang it on to my ornament tree. So hopefully next week I will have 3 new things on the tree, because I'll have the one that I finished and then these 2, if I can get my act together enough to put a hanger on them. Okay, so then other than that, plans going forward, obviously, we got 2 more weeks in this month. I'm going to continue to stitch on all my fancy peoples, which are pretty much fancy ladies right now, because my only fancy man is the one who is in Pinky and Blue Boy, and I don't know if I'm going to stitch on that, because I'm just not feeling it right at the moment. But the other thing, I have a little bit of crochet plans. I have shown you my sock that I'm working on. Yes, I know that, I mean, it's taking me forever to make a sock, right? But, you know, I am enjoying doing it. I love this ice yarn that I got. But my plan regarding my sock is that I'm going to start the second sock and work on the second sock to get it up to here, because I have like a couple more inches before you let's not make the hole, but do whatever, where the heel's gonna go. And I think it makes more sense for me if I work on them kind of in tandem so that I don't end up with one sock and never have a second sock. And I thought that when I get to the point where I need to do stuff where it might be a little bit more, not necessarily tricky, but where there's counting involved and I want to make sure that the stitches are the same number, it's going to be easier if they're together. So I'm going to start the second sock and try and get them kind of to the same level before I continue on this sock. Hopefully that made sense. So that is my plan for my sock, which, you know, I'm working on this only very sporadically, like, you know. And then, as I mentioned, I got the wild idea in my head. I always do this, right? I get, it's not like I sit down and I'm like, I want to make a project, blah, 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 and I plan it all out. No, I'm sitting at work, usually at work, bored or something, and all of a sudden I'll see something on the internet or something will come to my mind and I need to do it. And I do that all the time. It's how I've done a lot of my projects, or started a lot of my projects, is because I just get a wild, you know, wild idea, and then I just go. So, I saw, I think, an Instagram post of somebody doing a temperature blanket, and I just kind of went, oh, you know, maybe I should do that. And the one that I saw, they were doing it in squares. I have no idea if it was granny squares. I have no idea what kind of squares they were making because I just saw them show the January and the February, and they hadn't started the March yet. I've also seen temperature blankets where people do a whole row across. I don't think I would enjoy that as much. I think it will look really pretty, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to do the squares. So I downloaded a thing on how to do a square moss stitch because I was thinking about doing granny square, but I realized granny square is going to end up being huge when you think about each square has to get to, you know, 30 or 31, actually 32. And actually for me, it's going to be 33 because you want all of the squares to be the same size, right? So anyway, and I don't have anything to show you guys yet. I went onto Joann's with this idea in my head and found that they were having a doorbuster price on their Crone Simply Soft, which I really like that yarn anyway. So, and the price was like really good. And I figured I really only need one skein of each color. I thought that I would do 12 colors. I don't know, I might end up condensing that down to 10 because I divided like in 5-degree increments from 50 degrees to 110, I think. But really the 50 to 60, we get so few highs in that. I mean, we had a couple, but it would end up being like maybe one in the one day of between 50 and 54, and maybe 2 days of 55 to 59. So I'm thinking I might combine those. And kind of the same at the other end. I mean, we get hot weather, but it's not necessarily like when you get over 105 to 1, you know, I don't know. So I'm thinking about maybe condensing at the top as well as the bottom. The bottom's going to be easier to figure out because you know, once we get past this month, I mean, actually, I think we're already past anything that would be in the 50s as a high. So, yeah. And as I said, I think there was 1 in the first category and 2 in the second category. And if I like those colors, I mean, I don't know, it might be fun to just have the one day of the lower temperature so it'll stand out more. Let me know what you think. But anyway, so it's going to be either 10 to 12 colors. And then I got a gray, like a feather gray color to do around because obviously you need to make all of the squares the same number of rows. Is it a row when you're in a square? The same, I don't know. Anyway, you guys know what I mean. And I think I'm going to do like the first, just the little center of each square. So, you know, the little 4 stitches, I think I'm going to do that in the gray too. So they'll all have like the little gray middle. And then the ones that are like 31 days will have 1 edge, 30 days will have 2, and then February will have 3 of the gray. And then I'll join it with the gray. Hopefully this is making sense. Anyway, so I got all the yarn ordered. I think I ordered 13 colors instead of 12 colors, so I'm gonna have to take out 1 color anyway. And unfortunately, even though I know what January and February are right now, I can't really start it until I have all the colors in front of me, because I have to figure out which colors are which section, and like how, you know, between 65 to like 80, I need to make sure those are the colors that I like the best, I guess, because those are the colors that are going to be the most. Although I kind of want to do it sort of rainbow-ish, so that, you know, the cooler colors are, you know, the blues and I guess the purples. And then I guess, I don't know, green and going into, I mean, I don't think I really ordered an orange because it's not hugely my color. I did get kind of like a strawberry pink red, which is kind of a melony orange color, but I don't know. Anyway, so I got all those colors. As soon as they come, I want to start doing this. So I can do the January and February right away as soon as I get my colors, and then the rest, you know, I will have to print out from AccuWeather and yeah. So I'm kind of excited about it. I think it'll be fun. I think, and this is one reason too, where like the one where you just do it in a row. I think I'll like the fact that it's a piece, and then you're done with that piece, and then you're doing another piece. So it's not like a big project that you have to haul out the whole thing. It's just the one piece that you're working on at that time, and then of course you crochet them together. Anyway, I'm excited about it. I think I got, you know, a fantastic price on the yarn, as I said. I don't think I'm gonna run out. I'm not gonna have a problem. I mean, maybe a couple of the colors in the middle I will end up needing to get a second skein, and then I got 3 of the gray, which I think is overkill, but yeah, but it was a, you know, it was a doorbuster price on Joann, so it was really a good price for the yarn. And yeah, so I'm excited to start that. I mean, obviously my crochet is not something that I'm doing every single day, you know, it takes a while, but you know, when I start a new project, I get excited about it. So I would not be surprised if my January block got done really fast and then I slowed down. But we'll have to see. I've never done the moss stitch before, but it looks pretty easy. And I got like a pattern tutorial on how to do it in a square, which is basically just, you know, you use a chain stitch on the corners. But yeah, it looks really pretty easy and more compact. As I said, the granny squares, I thought at first I would do it as a granny square thing, but I just think that each square would end up being way too big, and the moss stitch is going to keep it smaller. So this is kind of what a moss stitch looks like. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to do that. So we'll see if the yarn comes in next week, which I don't know if it will, because, you know, when I ordered it, it's like, then I got a thing saying, oh, your stuff's on the way, and it's like 3 of them, and then I got another one and it's 1 of them. So I mean, hopefully, if I know that I want to start with like the blues and the purples, blues and greens and whatever, then if I get all of those, then I can make decisions. But if I don't, then yeah, I'm gonna be stuck. And then I know for sure I have to pull out one of the colors that I got, because I got too many. I got 1 too many colors, and I think I got an emerald green, and I think that one's gonna come out. But I don't know. I mean, I have to see the colors together, you know, in a pile. Anyway, so that is a plan that I have. in my brain, so I'm kind of excited to do that. I'm excited to wear this next week and show you guys. Be kind when I wear it, because, you know, as I said, I don't know if it turned out as attractive as I thought it was going to be in my head. It does feel really nice. I just don't know if it's going to be something that I would want to wear out in the world, but I definitely will be wearing it around the house because it feels really nice. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Hopefully, as I said, I wish you guys all of the luck of the leprechauns. Hope you find a pot of gold. I hope I find a pot of gold. And have a great stitchy week. And until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.